This briefing is based on preliminary information we've been able to put together at this point in the investigation. As you can see behind me, many members of the Austin Police Department Command and Executive Team, City Management, the Travis County District Attorney's Office is also on scene, along with other investigating groups. So, again, this incident occurred shortly after 12:30 this morning in a disturbance that initially involved an off-duty Austin police officer. This officer was returning to this neighborhood and in his personal vehicle, and when he turned southbound onto the 2500 block of Wickersham, noticed there was a car behind him, and this car then abruptly cut him off. As the vehicle pulled alongside him, the officer reported that he saw the driver point a firearm at him. The officer fired at the suspect at this point. Multiple rounds were fired by the officer. The suspect vehicle then traveled further southbound on Wickersham. Our officer called 911 to report that there had been an incident, and I believe there were multiple other calls made to 911 at this time involving shots fired. Our off-duty officer continued to follow this car a short distance down Wickersham, where ultimately it came to a stop along the west curb line. At this time, now 12:37 a.m., additional APD units began to arrive on scene. This part of the interaction is captured on body-worn camera because on-duty officers were present. The initial part that I just described, this was an off-duty officer not in uniform, so therefore not wearing a body-worn camera. What we know from the second part of the interaction, as officers arrived, the suspect vehicle was along the curb. The officer was in his personal vehicle behind the suspect vehicle, giving commands to the driver of that vehicle. Backup officers arrived, and they're yelling at the driver, who is now outside of the driver's side of the car, to show his hands, to place his hands in the air, to get away from the vehicle. What can be also seen on that body-worn camera is there is a female that is laying on the curb on the passenger side of the vehicle. Multiple commands again are being given to the subject to get away from the vehicle, to raise his hands, to not reach for the gun, commands in both English and Spanish. The suspect then walks around the rear of the vehicle towards the passenger side, and again, given commands to stop and to show his hands, ultimately ends up opening the back door, what appears to be the back passenger door of the vehicle, and as he reaches into the vehicle, the on-duty Austin police officer fired shots at him, striking him at that moment, and then he goes down. That subject was pronounced deceased here at the scene. We do not yet have him identified. The female that was in the vehicle, she was also struck by gunfire. She was transported to a local hospital where she underwent surgery and is currently listed in stable condition. We also know that there was an infant child in this car who was not injured, who was also transported to the hospital with APD Victim Services and is currently working on child placement arrangements for that child. We did locate a firearm with this vehicle, and again, as our initial officer stated, the driver pointed a firearm at him, and there is a firearm that was located here on scene. The female, again, is a 33-year-old Hispanic female, currently in stable condition. We do not have an identity on the deceased male that was involved in this incident. As I mentioned, the first part of this incident involved an off-duty officer, so there was no body-worn camera. So we're asking anyone that was in this neighborhood that saw any part of this interaction to please call us and identify yourself so we can interview you. If you have video of this interaction, that will be very important to our ongoing investigation, of which there are a few right now. As is typical in an officer-involved shooting, we have a criminal investigation that's being conducted to determine if the actions were compliant with state law. And that investigation is conducted by the Austin Police Department Special Investigations Unit, along with oversight and participation from the Travis County District Attorney's Office. We also have an administrative investigation to determine whether or not the actions were compliant with APD policy, and that investigation is being conducted by the Austin Police Department Internal Affairs Division with oversight from the Office of Police Oversight. As is typical, the 2 officers that were involved in this incident will be placed on an administrative duty pending this investigation. 1 officer has been with the Austin Police Department for 2 years, and the other officer has been with us for 5 years. This is a very dynamic and unfolding investigation right now, as I've laid out, and there's a lot of work that will continue to be done through the early morning and through the day today. Not a lot more information that we can put out at this time. However, I will open it up for a few questions.
To be clear, the officers thought they saw him pull out a gun. Were they able to visually see it when they shot their guns at him?
So it was reported by our officer that as he turned on Wickersham, that he observed this car pull around him and cut him off, and he observed the driver in the vehicle point a firearm at him.
Was there an additional gun after that? It was just 1 gun.
I'm not aware of any additional firearms. Again, we have located a firearm where the scene ended, where the car is right now, and that is believed to be the same firearm.
Like I said, the off-duty officer, I'm assuming, was heading home, you were saying?
The off-duty officer was heading to this neighborhood when this incident happened.
Saw a driver that cut him off with the firearm and then shot at him, and then that's when he called for backup?
Correct. As he turned onto Wickersham, he noticed this car behind him cut around him and cut him off. And as the car was passing him, he observed that the driver was pointing a firearm at him, at which point our officer fired.
And then that's when he called for backup, and then they followed him. How far would you say that where they ended up is from this initial location?
It's within a quarter mile. It's not very far down. And yes, as soon as the officer fired his weapon, he began to make a report to 911 that an incident had occurred, and that's what got backup officers en route, along with other calls that were coming, I think, from the apartment complex here.
Was the suspect initially hit by that first officer, the off-duty officer that fired?
That is unknown at this time.
Is it clear at all why the individual was following the officer at this point? Or if he knew he was caught?
No, that's part of the ongoing investigation, is what, if anything, led up to this interaction here that took place in the 2500 block. And again, that's why we're asking the community, anyone that might have been out here, anyone that might have seen any interaction either on the road or here along Wickersham, or if you were outside of the apartment complex and witnessed any of this, please come forward.
So not to make any assumptions, obviously, because everything's still under investigation, but just from like the story that you're telling us, it kind of sounds like road rage.
Well, I'm not going to speculate what led up to any of this. I can only put out the facts that we know right now, and that is, as our officer turned onto Wickersham, he said this car cut around him, pulled up alongside him, and again pointed a firearm at him.
Is there anything else you could say about who or what was in the suspect's car? There was a woman there, a firearm was found in the car. Is there anything else you can describe about the vehicle or the suspect?
No, none of us have been up to the vehicle. They're processing that. Crime scene is right now. We just know there were 3 occupants in the vehicle, both the man and the woman that were struck, and the infant child that was not.
One last question.
Do you know the relationship between the man and the woman?
I do not. Thank y'all.
You've been listening to